What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. The show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics. And today I've got a new friend of mine, Eric Feld, who is a rabbi at Congregation Beth Shalom. And we met at a party, and my wife fell in love with your wife, Ashley. And here we are talking together on a podcast.
It's great to see you again.
Yeah. So you moved here about a year ago, right?
Moved here a little bit over a year ago. Yep. So still relatively new to the Dunwoody area.
Yeah. So how do you like it here?
I love Dunwoody. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that I would love it as much as I did. In fact, when we came down from the Boston area, I was really pushing hard for us to go to someplace, someplace cool like, Brookhaven or Chamblee that's really kind of
Yeah.
up and coming, maybe East Cobb. And my wife said, well, there's a couple houses for us to look at in Dunwoody. And I said, well, I don't know anything about Dunwoody. It's just a suburb. And I was wrong. We
Yeah.
could not be happier here. Everything is wonderful. Really, we
Yeah.
love it so much.
Well, and Dunwoody's such like a big Jewish area too. Like what is up with that? I guess it's from the JCC. Is that
I
why
think that's
people
part
have
of
kind
it.
of migrated here?
Yeah, Jewish history in Atlanta goes all the way back to the very founding days. Jews have been part of Atlanta's history since this city was founded as a railroad hub. And Jews used to be really concentrated in Midtown. And as things unfortunately happened in some cases, in the 50s, 60s, a lot of people left Midtown and went north. And that certainly includes the locus of the Jewish community. There's still a couple of synagogues downtown, but Jewish life has really thrived here ever since. And so we've got a really, really nice Jewish community. The JCC is definitely a part of it. But there's also, there are kosher restaurants, and there
Yeah.
are grocery stores where people can get all kinds of kosher food, and there's all kinds of cultural resources up here. It's a really, really easy place to be Jewish, and the Jewish community has just blossomed up here.
Yeah. So I grew up on the other side of Gwinnett, and it wasn't that way. I had a few friends that were Jewish, in high school, but I moved here, and everybody's taking us in because my kids' names are Samuel and Micah Weber. So I think everybody just assumes that I'm Jewish. But yeah, it seems
Yeah, I
like
assumed that
mine.
the first time I met you.
Yeah, so it seems like my neighborhood and the surrounding areas, I've just run into so many nice Jewish people. So it's really cool. It's just like I've learned a lot about you guys and about Judaism in general. So hopefully I don't put my foot in my mouth and say something that was wrong or wrong terminology here. But so you are the assistant rabbi at Beth Shalom,
I'm the
correct?
assistant rabbi at Beth Shalom. Our
And the
senior
other guy's been
rabbi,
there for a
he's
while,
been here
right?
36 years. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's a
Literally
long
longer than
time.
anybody has ever worked a job ever.
Yeah.
He's
And
a
so you're
great guy.
bringing the fresh blood, the young fresh blood to Beth Shalom, right?
I like to think so. My wife and we obviously met at that was a Kentucky Derby party, I think is what it was.
Yeah, definitely is.
And we've got a couple of young kids ourselves. So we actually started going to Beth Shalom before I got hired here. We moved to the area and we were looking for a synagogue, and there were just lots of young families. And I said, "Wow, this is really nice. This is more than we've ever seen at other places that we've been." And so, yeah, we've made a lot of nice friendships here, and they've taken me in and started working here, and actually got my ordination within the last couple months. And so it's been a big deal. We've got a lot of families who have been here for a long time and who are really well established, and we have a lot of young families, and I'm really hoping to build on that excitement
Yeah,
with Beth Shalom.
yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about like your personal journey. Like, why did you become a rabbi? Where did that pop into your head at some point?
So it's kind of funny to me because I had another career. We lived in Chapel Hill, North Carolina for almost 10 years, and I had a career there as a city planner.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and so, when I was in that world, at some point along the way, I was doing a lot of public meetings, and I'm sure you've probably seen how those things go. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of stories behind how things get built, and unfortunately, sometimes that can be difficult because you want to say yes to people, and unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't really go so easily. So, kind of the long story short, unfortunately, my grandmother died while we were living in North Carolina, and we happened to come to Atlanta for that funeral. And Rabbi Berg at the temple, heard me give the eulogy, and not to be too arrogant at all, but he said, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm a city planner in North Carolina. He said, I don't think that's the right job for you. And so I thought about it, and then I find myself sitting at a public meeting. This poor family just wants to build their house, and everybody's telling them why they can't build their house. And of course, I'm counseling them through it, and I realized, wait a second, this is actually what I want to be doing.
I am pretty good at this.
Yeah, I want to be talking to people. I want to be helping them through their issues. And one thing led to another. My wife was really supportive. She was great. She said, you know what? If you want to do it, this is the time to do it. You don't get any do-overs in life, so we're going to make it happen. And 6 years later, here we are.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, speaking of city planning, so those Winter's Chapel, Tipples over off Winter's Chapel, and that Winter's Chapel gateway there is just amazing. They've done a good job with that, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's just nice
kind of transform the whole area.
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. Nice wide sidewalks, easy to get around. I ride my bike quite a bit, and it's been wonderful. Dunwoody has been surprisingly connected in that sense. I found it really refreshing that I can get from my house over to the synagogue, and I never touch the street. It's really great.
Yeah, they've done a good job with that. Have you heard about this bond that they're issuing in November?
Tell me about that.
So you can vote. It's November 7th. They're offering a bond up where it's pretty much just $60 million to spend on sidewalks and trails and parks and all of the things. But that's their showpiece, is that Winter's Chapel area it's gorgeous. And so I think if people just drive down that road, they'd kind of get an idea of what the city wants to do with the rest of the roads, or with a lot of the major, gateways and that kind of thing, where people can walk and ride their bikes. And it just makes it a lot easier to get around without a car.
I think that's great. I totally support that. If it were up to me, I think I would use that $60 million maybe to put a cover over the Dunwoody parade route on the 4th of July so you all don't get drenched on again.
Yeah.
But barring anything like that, I'm all for it. We do get a lot of people in our congregation from Doraville and Peachtree Corners and Johns Creek, and so a lot of people are coming in that way, and I think it'll be nice for them to be able to have, that view of what Dunwoody is like when they come in.
Sell them on Dunwoody, and then bring them in, right?
Totally. And go to the 4th of July parade while you're at it.
Yeah. So you love it here in Dunwoody. What are your favorite places around town? What are your favorite restaurants?
Yeah, my kids, they're really the ones who are driving that conversation.
So wherever's got chicken nuggets.
Well, for us, we happen to be vegetarians in our house.
Oh, okay. So no chicken nuggets.
So maybe some Impossible nuggets. But I'll tell you, today is the first day of school for our kids over at the Epstein School. And so we promised them we'd go to Village Burger afterward. That's all they want. They want milkshakes and they want grilled cheese sandwiches from Village Burger. So that's what we're doing today.
There you go.
We're really into Vintage Pizzeria. That's another favorite of ours.
Okay.
So we go there quite a bit, or at least as much as we can. There's a really great pizza shop over in the Georgetown Shopping Center. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, in the corner.
It smells amazing.
Starts with an M. I can't remember it. But I'm sure everybody's yelling at their podcast.
I'm sure they are.
Streaming platform right now. But, well, cool. Well, tell us about Beth Shalom. This CBS, as I've seen it. I was doing a little research, and it seems like everybody calls it the CBS.
CBS, Beth Shalom, Congregation Beth Shalom, you name it.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, kind of a hidden gem in some ways. Oftentimes when I'm talking to people about where we are, they say, oh yeah, I think I've seen that place up off of Winter's Chapel. For a long time, Beth Shalom was really off in the sticks when it was first built. I guess it was built it was built in 88. So yeah, coming up on 36 years ago. And we were really off in what literally used to be farmland. And since, a lot of people have started looking into Johns Creek and Peachtree Corners and places that are a little bit less expensive than Sandy Springs and Dunwoody for that matter, we have started to become really kind of a central place on the map. So Beth Shalom is a great little synagogue. We've got about 320 families. And the nice thing that I have found about this synagogue, and really I don't say this for too much self-promotion, it's been wonderful how people are not anonymous where we are.
Yeah.
You come into the synagogue and people immediately come over to you. They want to welcome you. They want you to stick around. They want to chat and learn about you. People remember your name. It's just for people who like that kind of an intimate environment where everybody knows your name, it's been a really wonderful place. And then for
Yeah.
our kids too, we have been part of synagogue communities in the past where getting them to want to go is a little bit of a, it's like pulling teeth sometimes. And, they like coming because this is where their buddies are. And this is where they get to have all kinds of fun snacks afterward. And we've got a
Yeah.
nice
Makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference that our kids are really excited about coming here.
Yeah.
So, and that makes it exciting for us to want to go too.
Yeah. How do you balance the making it fun for the kids and there's such like a traditional like Judaism, in Judaism, and like I see you guys stream the every event and all of that stuff. Like, is everybody down with that? Do you get pushback from the elders that don't want to see it become a new modern synagogue?
You might think that happens, but really it doesn't. I think sometimes, Rabbi Zimmerman and I, we're our biggest critics sometimes. We look at that stuff and we say, gosh, where are we going with this? But really and truly, our congregants, I think they really like it. And it's especially true because we have some congregants who are in further out places, especially some of our elderly congregants. We have one gentleman who's in Covington and it's hard for him to drive, but he really loves to be able to say, like, I can go to services and I can still participate in learning sessions because I have, Zoom to be able to make me, to connect me in a way that I couldn't otherwise do.
Yeah.
So, we've consistently gotten a critical mass of people coming to our services, even when we've had to shift things online. But it's been helpful as a tool, even if it's not necessarily traditional.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the really wonderful things about what it means to be Jewish in Dunwoody and Jewish in the modern world is we hold on to tradition and we do that really well. Our synagogue itself happens to be pretty traditional as far as things go, even though we are very egalitarian and we really lean into that. So, we have tradition, and at the same time, we feel very, very strongly that, we like to modernize things. We like to make things accessible. We like to welcome everybody in. And so that way we're able to dip our feet in both worlds.
Yeah. And fun. I see all the music. I was looking at their website, and then you've got something every day. There's like something listed for, August 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It's funny. I wasn't expecting so much going on. And you guys definitely leaning into the music.
Well, I give my wife a lot of credit because for all of those events, she's the one who's at home and who's handling things at home because we've got a lot of stuff going on. You're right.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. So nice job, Ashley. So what's the difference between, Chapel Hill and where was it? Boston? Is that where you're from originally?
Yeah. So we were in Chapel Hill and I went up to rabbinical school in Boston.
Okay. So besides the baseball team, you probably hit it right? They were good there in Boston and now Atlanta.
It's funny because, well, okay, I've never been a Red Sox guy. I know this is going to upset somebody, but here's the deal that we made as a family. We said we're going to move to Atlanta. I was really into the Yankees. My wife was really into the Red Sox. You could see there was some conflict in the house. So we said, okay, here's how we're going to do it. We are all going to be Braves fans. Like, that's going to be our team. And, as soon as we said that, I like to say we said that before the World Series run, because otherwise it makes us sound like fair weather fans.
Yeah.
But, I've been watching the Braves every night with the kids. Like, they're really into Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies, so we are all in on the Braves.
That's really cool.
We love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's differences in baseball. That's for sure. It's more fun to watch here.
Yeah.
So that. But Boston, it's a big city. Chapel Hill it's a small community. Both have their wonderful positive spots. Boston, we really loved it. It's just it's cold and it's expensive. It's so great because you're there for like there's a little window in the summertime in the late spring where you're like, oh, I could just do this forever. And then the snow squalls start to come in and you're like, no. I think the Atlanta plan was the right way to go.
Yeah.
And so far, we haven't had to pull out our snow shovels. We're happy about that.
Yeah, it's a little easier here probably. But the middle of the summer is pretty tough in Atlanta as well. It's
Well,
just so
that's a
hot
big difference
outside.
between here and Boston too, is that here in Atlanta, everybody's part of a pool. So,
Yeah.
we've taken full advantage of that.
And Village Mill's got a good one too.
Village Mill has a great pool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Dunwoody is that the neighborhoods, Village Mill, Dunwoody North, the Kingsley, is they're just big neighborhoods, and we're kind of in a big city, but it's just these tight little neighborhoods that all have swim teams and that pool scene that I think that you can just automatically associate yourself with that. And they're all, everybody kind of goes back and forth. Like we visit Village Mill, we go to Kingsley all the time. And it's just summertime in Dunwoody is really nice, I think.
It's really special. And I'll say that you can also say that about the synagogue community too. I'm sure it's probably like that for the churches and the mosques.
Yeah.
A lot of people, not everybody, but for those for whom, religion is an important part of their lives, people have their place that they like to go to. And the nice thing about the Jewish community in Atlanta, I've been really pleasantly surprised how friendly it is. So, even though we have our place, and we have our clergy team, I've noticed that, there's a lot of kind of an all ships rise mentality across Jewish Atlanta.
I'd
A lot
agree.
of the rabbis are really friendly with each other across the city. And
Yeah.
we do what we can to support each other. And that's been really nice as a place to start off in my professional career for sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll pitch the synagogue one more time before we leave. Like, why show up at Beth Shalom?
I think Beth Shalom is just a warm, friendly place. It's a wonderful place, especially as the parent of two young kids, looking for a place for them to feel comfortable and explore their Judaism. And I really emphasize their Judaism, because I recognize that I have my role as a clergy member, and that may not be the life for them. And I really want them to feel comfortable in their own skin and develop their own Jewish identity. And so, we have a lot of exciting stuff going on. I'll promote one event that I'm really excited about. On August 20th, we have a back to school celebration that's open to the community.
Okay.
So Dad's Garage is going to come do a performance,
Oh,
and we're
that's
going to
cool.
have pancakes, and I'm going to be in a dunk tank.
Okay. I might have to show up for that.
Oh, please come. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have a celebrity there. So we're going to actually ask people to bring some food things, some canned goods, some fruit cups, all kinds of things to support Backpack Buddies, which we have a relationship with. I know they were on your show
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So hopefully people will donate some food and send me to the bottom of the dunk tank. But it'll just be a great way to celebrate, another great year of learning in our religious school and in our community in general.
Well, cool. Well, enjoy your first day off of parenthood, and it is kind of nice, right? Today's my oldest went back to school today, and it just everything changes a little bit. It's like, oh wait, I got a little bit of time. I can get some work done.
I can actually get some stuff done, and
Yeah.
oh my goodness, like what am I going to do with all this space? No, I mean, it's good. I'm glad our kids were excited to go back. Our youngest in kindergarten was, he woke up this morning. The first thing he said is, "Oh, it's first day of school. I can't wait to go."
Oh, that's
And
good.
yeah, so
We had one of each. It was like, I don't really want to go, but they still get to see their friends, and
get to
it's
see your
cool.
friends, and you get back into a routine. It's good for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, it was really nice meeting you that day at Leah and Jeff's, and it's nice talking to you today. And if you have that August 20th event, I'll definitely put that out on What's Up Dunwoody, and try to get the word out about it. So
Please do.
everybody, reach out to Eric if you've got any questions about Beth Shalom. And thanks for coming on.
Matt, I just want to say too, thank you for everything that you do to promote our amazing community. So
Oh yeah,
I love the podcast and everything that you've done and all the guests you've had on. It's helped me to learn about Dunwoody as a new person here.
good,
And
good.
just keep it up.
Yeah. Please reach out if you find anybody that should be showcased. Please reach out to me.
Absolutely. It's so good to talk to you again.
Cool. You too. I don't leave yet.